raising your hands or something? Yes, so I think we believe that it is a big challenge, and you are right. It is not an easy thing to be a leader, and here if you see the picture, it represents that it is a journey. No leader knows where he is going, where he will reach, and when he will reach. That is something that he needs to find out during the journey. Yeah. Now, there's another very important question, which is how many of you think you are servant leaders? Again, raise your hands. Okay, fantastic. So we have a lot of them thinking they are servant leaders. So then I'm in the right place, because if you think you are servant leaders, whatever I'm going to tell you today is going to be useful. But if you don't think you are servant leaders, then whatever I'm going to tell you may not be of so much use to you. Now, I think during the debate, there was an interesting topic, if you remember, is servant leadership useful in corporate world? How many of you remember that? Did you watch the debate? Okay, not many of them, but there was a topic like that. And I think people have this misconception that servant leadership is all about serving the members or doing what maybe the members can't do, and really coming down and working with them. Yes, it is part of the deal, but I think a servant leader has two dimensions. One is to strategize and create a vision for all of you, right? And the other one is where he helps with the execution. That is where that servant leadership comes in. But this is an aspect which is brought to light by Ken Blanchard, who says it's all about creating the vision and then working with people to achieve the vision. So it's like showing the way, which is the strategizing part, and then going the way with the members, which is the servant leadership part. And I think servant leadership is what keeps the Toastmaster journey going, because if it were not for servant leaders, nobody is getting anything in return in terms of any materialistic things, right? No financial considerations, nothing. It is just the social proof and the social acceptance that you get as a leader. So that's why you are a servant leader. So this we have addressed, and thankfully a lot of you are agreeing to this. Now today I will share a leadership toolkit with all of you. Now I have tried to make it very simple so that all of you can remember easily. Now these are some of the things I have gained as a leader throughout my 12-13 years journey as a Toastmaster, and I will share with you. And for ease of understanding, I have tried to put it in a very simple format. And now every leader needs to have something up his sleeve, right? And now I want to ask you another question. Which is the most popular card in the deck of cards, or which is the most powerful card? Can anybody unmute and try? Can Hussein try? What do you think? Which is the most powerful card in the deck of cards?
Queen or the king?
I wish Queen were the strongest card, but I think somebody already said it. But I like your attitude. Why not Queen? But fortunately or unfortunately, it is the ace which is the most powerful card in a deck of cards, right? So today I'm going to give you all an ace to all the leaders here, so that you can carry it with you and use it when you require, right? That seems to be easy. An ace, it's not very easy to remember. I mean, difficult to remember, but it comes with an acronym, ACE. So this entire theme is about ACE. How, as a leader, you can ace the leadership challenge, and its acronym is ACE, ACE. Let's start with the first one. And first and most important tool in the armory of a leader is appreciation. Today you saw DTM Pradeep. Before anything, he ensured that he appreciated each of the members and leaders in this club and what they have done, right? So appreciation is something which is extremely, extremely important for a leader. Now, when we say appreciation, let me tell you a very, very simple example. There are a lot of things in the clubs and other places where people are doing. But as a leader, if you have the knack of noting each and everything that the members and other leaders are doing and highlighting it in the right platform, it can go a long, long way in sustaining your club. Yeah. Now, there are different aspects to appreciation. These are the three aspects that you need to remember. I'm trying to keep it very simple, so all are threes. So appreciation has three aspects: accolades, acknowledgements, and aspiration. I think all of you are familiar with accolades. Now, when I started, as a district leader, as a program quality director last year, I realized that our district was one of the biggest district in terms of getting educational awards. We were winning all kinds of awards, but very few people knew about it, So that is something which concerned me, because I realized that there are so many DTM, 30, 40, 50 DTMs, and maybe so many people are winning, triple crowns, and so many are, making their clubs president distinguished. But apart from the club, how many else know about it? And I think accolades are only important if people see them getting, right? And see you getting those accolades, you getting it in your club doesn't make you happy. But if you see yourself on a Facebook or on a bigger platform, it makes you feel happy, right? So as a leader, it is our role to ensure the accolades that come in for the clubs are seen by many people, and those accolades are known to people. So he should inform you, guide you as to what are the goals you can achieve, which can help you with recognition. And this is what we did. I think all of you are now very much familiar with this. From last 2 years, we have been doing it. And I think now every club wants to be seen as somebody who has achieved 10 goals, because you know that the day you achieve it, the program quality director, DTM Nelson, will make sure that it comes on the Facebook page, right? Or on the WhatsApp groups. It makes you feel good. But as a president, the role is to ensure that people know about it. Once the other club achieves it and then you telling is no help. You should tell them much before so that they can plan for it. So it is very important that you highlight the accolades. Now, this is extremely important, acknowledgement. I want to give you a very small example about acknowledgement. Now, I was in class 10th, I think, yes. And I was not very great in academics, but I used to love English language a lot. And we had an English teacher, I used to attend her classes regularly. That means I don't attend the other classes very regularly. So once she did something amazing, which has actually given this seed in my mind to appreciate and to acknowledge people. You know what she did? She told the class that in the class assessment, there are 3 people in the class who have written the most creative answers that I've ever seen. And I am going to invite these 3 people to come in front of the class and actually read those answers out. It was such an amazing feeling. Believe me, I was also always a backbencher, relaxed and never put in any effort. But after that day, I did it just because I wanted to stand in the front of the class and narrate my answers. So I did my best, and that changed my life. So, I became interested in academics. So a small thing can have such a lot of impact. That's, as a leader, you should understand, and saying thank you is equally important. And I'm sure some of you would have seen some of these posts we've been doing for the district. Believe me, this can only be done if you take notes, keep a journal, and make sure you know what are the people doing in your clubs, areas, and division, because unless you know, there is very less possibility for you to remember that, right? After a year, you cannot remember everything that has happened. But if you keep a journal and keep note of it, it can come in handy when you can appreciate these people. So that is extremely important that you do that. So acknowledgement is very important. Now, there is something called aspiration. Yeah. Now, I'm sure last year also there was a Toastmaster of the Year award. But this year what we did is we created a lot of noise around this, and we made people think about being a Toastmaster of the Year. Because when you start thinking about it, that's when you stretch yourself. Then you want to reach there, right? So there is a lot of aspiration and stretch that the club leaders need to create for their members. So, I still remember my club president, he did this for me. Now you see this award, I got the Toastmaster of the Year for my club in the year 2012-13. And I was a very, very ordinary Toastmaster, but 2 years before they started this award called Toastmaster of the Year. And you know what really attracted me to this award? I want to be very frank, that Eagle Trophy. It was a trophy which you can only win if you win a district level, contest. But this president of ours, he spent some $50 and put this award in a showcase next to the stage. And he said, whoever is the best Toastmaster of the year will get this award. And believe me, those 2 years, my only dream was that when I get up, I should get this award. There is some attachment to these things. So there was an aspiration. So similarly, this year we tried to create something like this. And of course, this is a trophy I got and I still treasure it. I'm sure many of you would have got similar trophies for yourself and you treasure it. So it is those leaders who think of these ideas which make us aspire. We don't realize it. But as leaders, I think we need to do all these things. Now coming to the other C. So if A is for appreciation, C is for credit. Now there is a twist here. Now C doesn't mean you give credit. It means you don't take credit. Now let me explain to you. Now there are three facets to this credit also. One is conflict, challenges, and change. Yeah, I will go to the first one. Can you see this visual? Conflicts. Now I believe a lot of conflicts can be stopped if we have some very, very basic understanding of this concept called credit. Now read this quote. It is one of my favorite quotes and I will just read it out for you. It says, "It is amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit." It's a quote by Harry Truman and it is actually true. Because if you do not bother who gets the credit, some wonderful things can happen. Now let me give you a very small example. Imagine a young member of your club comes to the president and says, "Sir, I know a great leader who can come to the club and give a speech." Now, two options for the president. One, he says, "Give me his name. I will contact him and make sure he attends the session, gives a speech, and then everybody knows what will happen. The club will be happy. They will all applaud. They will applaud the president and the president will be very happy and he will say the member did a good job in introducing me, right?" But on the other hand, if he asks the member, "Why don't you call him and you introduce him and then after the speech you thank him," you have empowered that member and you give him the credit. So as a leader, if we are big-hearted enough to give the credit to somebody else, amazing things can happen, believe me. So this is something which I have learned over a period of 10, 12 years. Initially, I also used to think if I do two, I should be appreciated for both the things. It's as simple as that. But as a leader, I think we should be ready to do things and forget about it. If we have done a good thing, it will come back to us. If we have not done well enough, it will not come back. But you still need to keep doing. So that is something we all need to learn. And if we understand this and internalize this, I think a lot of conflicts will not be there. It is very important that we understand and internalize this concept. Now change. Now this is a wonderful visual. I really love this visual. Now I asked you in the beginning, about something that if you have already achieved a President Distinguished Award and you have already achieved 10 DCP goals, then why should I tell you anything? Because you can just do the same thing this year and you will achieve that award, right? But the answer is no. Why? Because every year is different. Members' aspirations are different. The environment is different. This year, who knew that there will be a COVID? Correct? Things are totally different. So as a leader, you need to do different things to achieve the same results. I think you would have heard people saying you need to do different things to achieve different results, but I am saying something different. I am saying to achieve the same results, you need to do different things. So to achieve a President Distinguished Award or 10 DCP goals or whatever else you want, you need to do different things this year because you are going to start in a COVID environment. They started in a normal environment and came into COVID. You are starting in a COVID and maybe will get out of COVID. So you are facing a different challenge altogether. Believe me, it will be a challenge for people to now come to offline regular sessions because you have to wear the full suit, not just the coat. Right? So it will be a challenge. Now the next one is challenges. I think as leaders, we should be ready to face up to the challenges. And sometimes, if as a leader, we have a mindset of looking at challenges that these are opportunities to find solutions, I think the world is a beautiful place and we have cracked this, puzzle called life. because life is all about, challenges. So I think if you look at this visual, if you look at a big boulder coming down towards you, you may think that this will kill you. But on the other hand, if you think I'm strong enough to push this boulder to the other side and see what's there on the other side, it's a challenge you accept and you will create ways to overcome that, right? So this year, when we faced with COVID, we were given bad news: no area contest, no division contest, no DTAC, nothing, just sit at home and, do these virtual sessions. So we could have sat back and just enjoyed the virtual sessions. But as a team, we decided, let us make use of the strength of COVID, which is virtual. Everybody wants to be virtually engaged. So we did a DTAC with 3 world champions and 2, finalists. And we did many other programs. Debate contests could never have been done on a regular platform because we cannot bring all the countries together. But in virtual, we could do it. So I'm saying, if you look at challenges as opportunities as leaders, you will have amazing things possible. Yeah. Now come to the third part of ACE, which is E, for education. Now I think a lot of you must be thinking that you have all the education in the world, right? Because you are all graduates, maybe postgraduates. And I think very nicely, DTM Pradeep said, he reads the club officer manuals, he goes to Toastmaster website. That's exactly what is required as a leader. You have 2-3 very good resources with you, which is your club leadership manual, your website, your magazines. If you read that regularly, you are educated. But education has a lot of other facets, right? It has engagement. You need to be educated enough to engage people. You being a specialist in something doesn't help. You need to connect with the other person. Now, I don't know what Kosen likes, so I need to connect with her. So maybe I should know what are the things she likes and have some knowledge about that. So you should be able to engage. And then you should have an entrepreneur spirit. I will explain a little bit more about it. And finally, using the education, you should achieve excellence. If you can't do that, what use is the education, right? Guys, I can't somehow see the timer. So is the timer's video on? Yeah, timer. Sorry for the interruption.
Yes, sir. It's yellow at the moment.
Can I see that? What's the name of the timer? I can't seem to see the timer.
Sir, it says timer, Toastmaster Sudhakar.
What's the name again?
Toastmaster Sudhakar. And timer is next to his name. And his video is yellow at the moment.
It's yellow. Okay, fine. I'll go on. So I was talking about 3 aspects of education. Now, this is a very important quote that all of you should remember. A leader has the right to be beaten, but never the right to be surprised. What this means is, as a leader, you should have all the answers to the things which are factual. I'm not saying you should have all the answers for things which are, psychological. All those things you cannot have answers. But at least whatever are the Toastmaster rules and guidelines, as a leader, you should know that. Because if you don't know, you are not doing your jobs. And that is where I agree with DTM Pradeep, that you should read the Toastmaster manuals, go to the website and the magazines. Now, this is most important, engagement. Now, as I said, what is engagement? A lot of times we tell people that we need to achieve this goal. But believe me, people are not interested in what to do. They are interested in knowing, why should I do it? You know, the naughty kids in the class, why they are not interested to listen to the teacher? Because they feel, whatever teacher is saying is not useful. So similarly, for a leader, you need to answer the why. Why should a member or anybody follow you as a leader or do what you're telling? And how can you do that? You can only do that if you are able to tell him the why part. People don't buy what you do, but why you do it. So what I mean to say is, now let me give an example. When we came together as a team, as a district team in the beginning, our goal was very simple. We wanted every club in the district to have a quality member experience, period. That was the vision. And now that vision means anything you do has to go back and correlate with this. So similarly, as a club leader, if your goal is to give a quality member experience in every session, all of you can then correlate whatever you're doing. So what action you're doing, is it leading to giving a quality member experience? So that is when you feel connected. You feel, yes, I'm doing all this because I want Toastmaster or DTM Ahmed Harun to feel that Fujairah Club is a club where I go and I get a lot of take home messages, right? That is why he will come back. But if he doesn't get any, thing to take back, why will he come back to Fujairah? He can go to Scholars or he can go to any other club, right? So that is where, as members, you come together. So that binding force is the why. Why should I do it? Not what you should do. So you have to create a buy-in. Whenever you take a decision, take your members with you. That is extremely important. Now, this is extremely interesting. I will tell you how an entrepreneur mindset comes in. Now, you have 7 leaders in the club, right? Now, generally president thinks and all the others start executing. But I believe the club which is maximum successful is the club which allows these 7 people to be CEOs of their own area. Now, let me say a PR manager is the PR head, is the editor, is the, somebody who thinks of all the marketing ideas. So he is a marketing head or she is a marketing head and a, PR head and an editor. So her thought process will be totally different, right? Similarly, the VP membership is the sales head. Let's say regional sales head. So that makes that person empowered and he will put in all his ideas to create action to achieve those goals. So as a president, the vision is we want to achieve what we achieved last year. We want to give quality member experience. And as VP membership, our goal should be, we have 27 members, let us make it 35. How you do it, leave it to the VP membership. You tell PR, I want maximum guests coming for all our sessions. What do you do? How you do? Up to you. Okay, so that is how you empower people and make them enterprising and make them or give them a spirit of entrepreneurship. And that's what we also do in district teams. We have somebody like a Nelson who is a mastermind in thinking about program quality, and Gurbinder thinking about club growth, Rania thinking about the PR. And then we all align our forces to make sure that it helps the district. So that's the goal, and that's the way a leader needs to empower people. Yeah, that is entrepreneurship. Now, excellence. I have a very interesting example here. Now, you see, as a leader, your role is to raise the bar every time. And the two best examples that come to my mind, one is Sergey Bubka. How many of you remember Sergey Bubka? He was a pole vaulter, and he was an athlete who was an amazing athlete because he used to break his own world records. He was not competing with anybody else. And every time he jumped, he created another world record. And I want to give you an example of an Indian athlete. He was called the Flying Sikh, Milkha Singh. He did his best. Now, if you look at just the results, you may say, what did he achieve? He came 4th in Olympics. No gold, no silver, no bronze. So what is so great about him? The best part about him is he did his best, and his best was world beating. All 4 of them broke the world record in that race. So he did his best. So even if you don't achieve the final result which you are aiming for, but you do your best, which is better than your earlier best, I think as leaders, we are successful. So that is what we have to understand. We also need to redefine success. Now, when COVID came, if we as a district think, no, COVID is all right, but we want to be smartly distinguished, we want to have 15,000 members, it's not practical. But having said that, if we stop working and we don't do things, that is wrong. So that is where a leader has to raise his bar every time. And that is why I feel DTM Pradeep has raised the bar, and he has made the club the President Distinguished 10 DCP Gold Club. Now the challenge for the new incoming team, Toastmaster Mahendran, these are some words I want to say. Whether you can achieve it, it's up to you. You should raise the bar and think of being the best club in Dubai. Why not? If Burj can do it, if TGIS can do it, why can't Fujairah do it? You are 16-year-old club. You have all the mentors in the world. You have people like DTM Anil, DTM Rafi, who can tell you all the things there are to know about Toastmasters. There is nothing that they don't know. So why can't Fujairah become the best club in the world? That is a goal you should set. Now, I'm not saying exactly that. Set goals which are stretch goals. And like this athlete is doing, he's going out of the frame because he is going out of what is defined to achieve the excellence. So that is what you should do as a team. And finally, I wish all the best for the year ahead for the incoming team, and congratulations to the team which has done a great job today. And finally, big thank you to President DTM Pradeep for inviting me. It was my pleasure. I could share some of my insights. I hope these insights help you and the club does wonders and you achieve many, many more milestones. I could not see the timer. If I exceeded by a few minutes, please forgive me. I sometimes make basic mistakes when I become excited. Today I was very excited. So thank you so much for having me. And it was my real pleasure to be here and share some of my experiences. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I've